This is the Spyderco Dragonfly Salt with a highly corrosion-resistant H1 blade steel, super reliable backlock, and vibrant yellow FRN grip, which combination makes this knife a perfect companion for a lakeside vacation, a fishing trip, and even for professional diving. Hey everyone, welcome to Salvo EDC. I couldn't wait to roll today's video, as this Spyderco Dragonfly is one of my favorite small size EDC pocket knives for the warm season. It weighs about 1.2 ounces, which makes it a super light carry that doesn't drag down my summer shorts. My Dragonfly also has these pretty nice yellow scales, as it is one of the oldest members of Spyderco's Salt lineup. This high-vis color comes in handy because we all know that I'm a very clumsy person, and in the case of dropping my Dragonfly into vegetation or even into shallow water, this vibrant yellow would give me an easier time spotting it. To add more grip to the Dragonfly, Spyderco also used their famous bidirectional texturing, but at the end of the day, this pretty small knife is still only 5.5 inches long overall, and it comes with a 1.8 inch long cutting edge. Which size has a couple of pretty significant advantages, by the way. First of all, it makes the knife legal in a lot of countries. It also makes the Dragonfly easy to carry, as it can easily fit the fifth pocket on any jeans. And this knife also disappears in the pockets of my swimming shorts. Yep, I'm the kind of a person who goes swimming with a knife, but with this Spyderco, I can easily afford to be mentally challenged. The Dragonfly is so light and tiny that I very often use it to seal off my packages after I was done snacking. And this portability is a huge pro going for a super small pocket knife like this one, because I can use a knife only if it's with me, obviously. Even though I have a lot larger, better performing knives than this one, the Dragonfly still beats them around water, because I can have it on me 24/7, so despite my preference for larger knives, I'll learn to appreciate this tiny one, as I could take the Dragonfly to places where I could not take anything else. So this knife pretty much grew on me. Size-wise, I would compare the Dragonfly to this CVV Baby Banter with green micarta scales, or to this spooky edition MK Yamisanzo, and in my opinion these knives make a pretty nice comparison, not only because they have almost the same dimensions, but also because they come with an oversized finger choil that turns them into something I just call a little big knife, as I can have a full grip on them despite their small size. And rotating around these three compact EDC pocket knives made me understand that some of these small designs are highly optimized, purpose-driven tools, and in niche situations, they definitely have their own advantages over longer blades. Plus, the Dragonfly also counters its small dimensions in a very ingenious way, and thanks to this famous Spyderco finger choil, it fills up my hand nicely. So this knife feels a lot bigger than it looks, and in terms of ergonomics and weight, the Dragonfly is easily a god tier EDC. And in an exchange for the high performance, it seemingly trades in nothing. The Dragonfly has a very robust and secure backlock, and its centering is perfect. It also has no blade play, and maybe my favorite thing is that this yellow FRN comes with absolutely zero flex. But despite being a fully plastic knife, it works super smoothly, and it's also easily Spidey flickable, even with my large chubby hands. Which is a huge deal, taken this knife doesn't have any bearings or steel liners. This knife is one of the best examples of why Spyderco became so successful, as they build solid, high performance and reliable user knives. Seriously speaking, I could not name a single thing that I would change on the design of this Dragonfly. The only one thing I do not really appreciate is actually not about the design, but the steel. So my Dragonfly Salt has an H1 blade material, which is practically the same as the new generation's H2 in terms of performance. They have a very small difference in their chemical composition, but essentially they are the same thing. And it's a remarkable steel if you are a knife steel nerd. However, it is not the best pick if you're an actual knife user, as this H1 Dragonfly has the poorest edge retention I've ever experienced. However, as its trade-off, this blade material is practically impervious to rust. But why is that? First of all, this steel has a super high nitrogen content, which one is the key element. On top of that, this steel is not heat treated, and it achieves its hardness under extremely high pressure through a process we call cold rolling. But in my personal use case, this hardness still wasn't enough. For salty environments, I'd much rather recommend other steels with similarly high rust resistance, such as LC200N or CPM MagnaCut. So if you're here because you would like to get the perfect Spyderco salt knife with yellow FRN scales, I'd much rather recommend looking at something with MagnaCut. An 85 is a perfect example in my opinion. If you still want to try the Spyderco Dragonfly because of its design, I'd go for a different blade steel. The highest performance one would probably be K390, which is an insanely cool steel. And I would also consider this Burgundy Red limited edition with Micromelt PD1, also known as Carpenter's version of CPM crewware. And if, despite all the negatives, you still choose to experiment with this H1 steel, I would advise you to go with a fully serrated one. Not only because serrations cut longer compared to a plain edge, but also because serrated knives require extra machining steps that come with extra heat, so their serrations end up with a higher hardness, which translates into a higher edge retention. Spyderco's serrated knives are pretty badass, by the way. They usually do a lot of testing behind the scenes, and in my opinion they hit a very nice sweet spot with their spider edge, which is what you can see on this K390 Spyderco Endura. And if you like this blade, you should definitely hit subscribe because its review is coming soon. And until this video drops, I invite you to watch my previous reviews about this Green Macarta, CVV Baby Banter or the Spooky Edition MK Amisanzo, which two knives have very similar dimensions compared to the Spyderco Dragonfly. Thank you for sticking around all the way, and I'll see you in the next one.